out of here.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm practicing. I got an away game to go to.
Oh, away game for the Warriors?
Yeah. Woo.
Well, I got something that might help you maximize your experience at the airport.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So today we're talking about Google Cloud's IoT Core pushing airlines data into PubSub, Dataflow, and BigQuery.
Interesting. So what are you collecting and what are you telling me about that?
So we're talking about customer events data, like, whether they checked bags, how much time you have in between trips, so that you could possibly get a drink or upgrade your seats.
Nice. I would love that. I spend a lot of time at the airport.
Yeah, well, hopefully your Dataflow game is better than your basketball game.
Wow. Whoa. Come on now. All right, let's see it. Let's see it.
All right, 5-minute demo starting now. So before I jump into the actual demo, I just wanted to cover sort of the architecture that we'll be representing through this demo today. We are generating random data through Compute Engine and feeding it into a PubSub topic, which we will then use Cloud Dataflow to stream it into BigQuery in real time. Let's go ahead and just jump into the actual demo. So the first thing I want to show about how I got this set up is I'm going to head over to Google Cloud Storage, which I mentioned is how we did the device simulations and also where we created some folders for our Dataflow pipeline. So we created a bucket titled IoT Airlines V1 Data. We created 2 folders within this bucket. And so that's going to include some information about our device simulators here. And we've also created another bucket for our Dataflow pipeline. So for our Dataflow pipeline, we've also included some files here, and we created 2 folders for staging and temp. It includes spinning up and shutting down Google Compute Engine instances, and they access these GCS buckets for both I/O and temporary file staging. Now, we've also set up a PubSub subscription. So the first thing we do here is head over to PubSub, and you see here we've created a topic, and this topic is titled Airline Messages. The type of subscription we created under this topic is a pool subscription, and we've named it Dataflow here. So you can see here a publisher application, in this case would be our IoT simulators. They create a topic in PubSub, which we've titled Airline Messages, and that's a service that sends messages to the topic. Now, going back a little bit, I'm going to show you IoT Core, because this is also the component in which we register our IoT simulators. What we've done here is we've registered this right here called IoT Airlines Registry. We've essentially cloned the Git repository where we have Java files, and we've compiled the application here, uploaded a jar file to the storage bucket that we showed earlier. This is our registry ID. It's going to accept in the form of MQTT and HTTP protocols in the region US Central 1. We have PubSub set up for this IoT device registration, which is the one we created earlier, Airline Messages. Anytime you register a device to connect to IoT Core, you just need to register it first with Cloud IoT. It consists of adding a device to a collection, which is this registry, and defining some of the essential properties like we've done here. The last thing I'm going to show you is our Dataflow pipeline that we've created. What we've done to build this Dataflow pipeline is we've included SDK client libraries for Java and Python, plus REST APIs. And we've essentially cloned the Git repository, we've updated some files there, and then we deployed it directly to Dataflow here. I'll show you here what the pipeline we've created looks like. So essentially it's reading messages, applying windowing techniques for streaming information from our IoT devices, and it's creating a table row and entity conversion so that we can actually push it into other sources like BigQuery and Data Store. Okay, now that we've had this whole pipeline set up, let's go ahead to the last step and show you what it looks like in terms of the output in BigQuery. We have our data, event_data, and this is where all the data coming out of Dataflow gets pushed into this table. So we've created a data set called IoT Airlines V2 with our table events_data. And so you can see here, this is what the schema looks like. It includes customer ID, the event type, things like customer name. We also have, how many bags are checked, how many seats are assigned under their name, how long the trip was, what the origin is of the destination. Let's just do an example really quickly of how we can compose a query on this data set. Certain routes might be more likely than others for certain upsells. Like, for example, if somebody's flying out at 6 in the morning on a Monday, maybe it's a business trip, you can offer them to buy Wi-Fi. You can also upsell them if a customer is carrying bags or has a connecting flight, for example. Maybe they want to upgrade from coach to first class. So let's go ahead and just do an example query of just pulling customer emails, IDs, and see if there's anybody who has actually did a bag check, for example, so we can potentially upgrade them. So let's go ahead and open this. I have my example query here. And you just input it directly into this query box here and run the query. We are selecting customer email ID from this data set and table event_data. And we're looking for customers who have more than one bag, and the trip leg is more than one. And you can see here, this is just, fake generated data, but in a real case scenario, we might have a different list of customers and their IDs so that we can immediately email them and offer them another service.
Whoa, that was amazing. Thanks for sharing all that information. Now I know when's the best time to get upgraded, because I'm tired of sitting in coach. I need to sit first class.
All right, well, here's to riding in style. Thanks again, everyone, for watching Take 5 with us. Please comment, like, and subscribe below.